Welcome to another episode of Modern Black Man Vlog. This week I'm joined with Syren, and we just chopping it up. We just, making it happen. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, just trying to be great like you. Trying to enjoy every day as much as I can.
I be trying.
Yeah. It looked like you had a good time. I'm jealous of you. But I'm glad you're back. So let's do it.
Let's do it.
I just had a few topics that I was gonna try to have a brief conversation about. I think that you are a good and fun person to have these conversations with.
Oh
Uh,
goodness.
you know it. You know it. Um, like I always say, I know exactly what it is. I think I'm into, and I'm
Mhm.
trying to be open minded. It's a new world, and there's a lot of things that are new to mine. So I think one of the topics we were going to talk about was self pleasure. Um, I think I hear that way too much now. People always want to try to tell you to know your body, and everybody
Is
needs to
it
know
too
their
much?
body. Say it.
I said, is it too much though? Is there ever too much self-pleasure?
Yeah, that's why we're talking about it. I don't like pleasing myself. I get kind of turned off by it,
At
right?
all?
Not really. I mean, if out of necessity only. I think that
Dang.
defeats the purpose of being in the relationship because it should be a
I mean,
connection.
I'm gonna say all of us are not, you know, in the house.
Mm, yeah, yeah, exactly.
But I mean, it's still good to know yourself.
Hmm. It is. I mean, no doubt, it's good to know yourself. But I mean, I think I'm a very average man when it comes to the flesh. I like to be touched, like I think most men do, but I don't like to do all the touching. I'm much rather a
Well, yeah,
part.
it's a 50-50.
There you go, 50-50. What does that really look like? Where it's an even exchange
In the bedroom.
with pleasing yourself, because to I
But
guess
with pleasing yourself, it's just yourself. I feel like masturbation is more of, I mean, of course, sometimes, you just got that feeling and you gotta
yeah.
satisfy that need. But on the other part, it's still just exploring what you like. Like, you might hit a different spot and you might be like, oh, I enjoyed that. So the next time you are in the bedroom with the partner, you can say, hey, can we try this? Or maybe touch there or maybe do that.
And
So,
see, I think that for me, sexually, I explore like that, like position wise, and like, you know what I mean? Um, I see in my current situation, it's about the time.
mm,
Because I think I'm ready to go in the morning, but that sets the tone for the day. If you can't kind of meet your need early on, you have a need all day. And I don't think that's a good place to be in a relationship.
I
Um,
can't do it in the morning, then I want to call off work.
you said you want to call off work if you do it in the morning?
Hmm.
Wow. What's that about? I think that you're not alone. What is that about?
Cause okay, once you get started, depending on your partner,
Hmm.
like once you get started, you want more. I don't want to go to work. I want to stay home. I want to get some more. I want to cuddle. I don't want to.
Right.
It's just better for me to just do it at night.
I hear you. You said it's once you stop, you can't. Once you pop, you can't stop.
Yeah, then I'm gonna be late regardless. Like I have never, if it's a day I work and I'm getting it in the morning, I'm usually gonna end up going to work late anyways.
I mean, if you got it like that, live like that. But I hear your point. It's not
Yeah, it don't work for
practical.
me. I'm like I am envious of the people who can just get their nut and go to work. I can't.
Those people that are in perfect synchrony, right? They can just
Yes,
like clockwork. That's the thing. I'm not necessarily trying to be there or that regimented, but it changes your day. If you have a need and it's not met, and you all day, it messes with your perception. It messes with a lot of things. So
I
I
can
hear
agree
that.
with that.
Yeah. And I think in the morning time, hey, What's happening, leg mob? I think in the morning time it is a different experience. I think that in the morning time you have to consider all those things because you might not know what the weather's like. You might be rushing late for work. And I've noticed with a lot of ladies in the morning, they don't have the need the way I think a lot of us men do in the morning.
Mm.
Uh, so I want to
You guys
ask
have that
you.
testosterone rush in the morning.
I think so. Like it seems like perfect timing. Um, so you don't necessarily not feel in the mood. It's just practically it doesn't work for you.
I mean, I still do it, don't get me wrong, but it's just for me, it's not it's a mindset thing. Like once that happens, like, yeah, I'm in a great mood. Of course, when I go to work, I'm in a great mood, but it's like, dang, could have been in the house. We could have did another round. We could have been cuddling. I'm ready to go home.
But see, some women can't even go that hard. I mean, they can't get the one because of whatever that is. But I'm noticing as I get older, that's like a lot less of a thing. In the morning, I think women are so distracted with their day. They don't
Yeah.
have the same hormonal situation I think men
Yeah,
have.
you guys
Hmm.
have the testosterone rush morning wood. I know we all slang word call it that,
Hmm.
but we don't have that. I mean, it just depends. Like women, like, what if we talked about this before about we are not a Little Caesars pizza. We are not just hot and ready at the drop of a dime.
Okay, and that's where I think it gets started because as we said before, I expected before work, after work, and before bed, right? So I think that's the
Expected.
beginning of foreplay. Yeah, I think that could be the beginning of foreplay. That reunification in the morning. Because I don't like in the middle of the night, and then you're trying to get it popping, and everybody's tired or your partner's lifeless, all those
Cause
catastrophes, all those catastrophes that come about from it because practically I think that our biological clocks are in different timing.
it can be, and again, you just have some of those partners who don't do foreplay. They're not doing anything to get their partner ready. They're not talking dirty. They're just let me stick it in.
Yeah. And I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of that. So how do you how do you set the stage? If you need to have it in the morning, what's a good way for someone to start, whether subliminally or just passively getting it popping?
Now I know some people like to be woken up to it. Personally, for me, that's a hell no. I will hit you. It's not even.
When you
Y'all
say
have them.
when you say woken up to it, you mean like penetration?
Some, yes, some. You never heard that?
I mean, I've tried that, but it's not that easy all the time. Um,
That's why I feel like it's a good thing. Like again, like how we talked about negotiation. I feel like that's something to clear with somebody because and that also like for me, like when I talk to people about it, it borderlines some lines of consent, in my opinion. Because if
I agree.
somebody's asleep, you don't have their consent. I know some people like it. For me, I don't like to be disturbed. I'm resting, and depending on when you disturb me, I might turn around and hit you. It's just a natural reaction. But I feel like that's something like, especially if you're in a relationship with somebody and you guys are obviously sleeping together like that.
Mhm.
I feel like y'all have that discussion about if that's okay. Because I know, like, I've dated people who've asked me, like, is that something you like? Is that something you're into? Of course, I tell them no. For me personally, it's a little dangerous. Just wake me up. But you could wake somebody up with some gentle touching, a nice massage or something like that. Rub their booty, maybe get in closer and spoon them and cuddle them, and that could be
Okay.
a way. Because I mean, now you're getting those hormones, the oxytocin, and everything flowing. You could
Right.
do that. But I definitely think with waking somebody up with penetration, that definitely needs to just be pre-discussed. Because again, like I said, consent is kind of getting a little blurred there. But I
Absolutely.
would, yeah, I would think like you wake your partner with like a nice massage or something, or you whisper something dirty in their ear. That might, that could be a precursor. Because there's more ways to skin a cat, but I know at least on the male part, like you said, for y'all, he's awake. He's at
Yeah, like I'm ready to use this thing.
yeah. But for women, give us some time.
Yeah.
That's what I said. The morning is tricky for me. I like it, but it's like okay.
But we can make a good segue from this to our next topic. Um, Aggressive sex. I don't know if it's rough sex or if there's
Not
an actual
everybody
name.
likes it.
Not everybody likes it, right? I see that, and I find myself inquisitive, inquiring in my mind, why or where do you meet someone that, what is that? Let's back up. Like, what is the whole physical thing? You know, as men, we want to probably physically impose ourselves on our partners. And I think a woman is very different psychologically, biologically. Um,
Not all though. Not all.
Not all, no, not all. Never an absolute. But does that mean something if a woman or man likes aggressive sex? I've actually done this topic before on previous shows, so I'll ask you the question: do you think that there is a archetype, a certain mindset of someone that is either into receiving or giving aggressive lovemaking?
So yes and no.
Mm,
Here's why. Because sometimes when we get into like these topics, for example, it's
hmm
just like with the that the man always has to be dominant in the bedroom. It kind of irritates me with like the more vanilla people who aren't into like BDSM and kink, because there's
hmm
always this fixation on who's the top, who is the dominant, and it's like we're not even into that kind of play. Like that's not even what you guys are into. But I don't really think there's necessarily an archetype. I know, like personally for me, I identify with it because I like being submissive. I just like
mm.
it. Um, but I don't. I mean, and I've met a lot of women who just aren't interested in it.
I think it triggers
So
a lot of women. And I know that,
I think it's 50.
everybody.
Like I've met 50-50. There's women who like it. There's
Mm,
women who are like no. And then it depends on what kind of aggressive things we're talking about. Like that's why I said it kind of borderlines into. I feel like a lot of people are into a lot more things than they know they're into.
what do you mean? Like it's a
Like
hint that you're in this like BDSM kind of.
like some people are more kinky than they possibly believe. Yes.
Yeah, I definitely could see that.
Because there are some, I
Um,
mean, there's a lot of couples out here who are just having just regular missionary and they're fine with that and that's totally fine. But there are some people who
mhm.
are like, oh, I gotta choke the girl, I gotta spit on her, I gotta do all this and that. And I'm like, giving me dominant vibes right there. Maybe not full on into the lifestyle, but kind of borderline that. And that's definitely okay.
What's the most dominant
Um,
thing, if I can ask, the most dominant thing a man has done to you?
Most dominant?
Hmm.
See, there's so much like the most dominant. You know what? And it's not even the most dominant, but it's my favorite thing.
Mm.
I like when somebody holds my wrist down. Oh,
When they hold your wrist down.
yeah, or hold them behind, like you get in from the back and they hold them behind your back.
Hmm.
I just think that's such a power play. I don't
Okay,
know what it
yeah,
is. And it's so simple.
but it
It's,
works. It's what gets you excited. So that's
it's what
yeah,
gets me excited. Yeah, and it's so simple, but I think that's the most dominant. I mean, there is, I don't want to get like too nasty, but
sure,
for
sure.
me, like, but for me, I'm a person who like shadow work has been that I like being the sub. I like being the bottom. I want to feel like you taking your aggression out on me. Like,
And see, a lot of women I think can feel that and they're uncomfortable. It's I don't know if it's the antithesis to a power play, but I think there's a lot of women when they feel that you have this aggression, they want to shut it down. They get uncomfortable. Um, so I definitely see where you're coming from. Respect that. I know
that's why I
myself.
said that communication thing is like key. I just feel like talking about like, hey, like, and it doesn't have to be again serious. It could be like, so what do you like? What is like even if you haven't tried it, what's something you've always wanted to try? Or like getting those things out the way and then you can kind of gauge what people are into. I mean,
Yeah.
because it doesn't have to necessarily be dominant. Like for me, I just think in that mindset because I know in my head that makes me hot. Like, yeah, I want to feel like I'm getting fucked like a slut.
Hmm.
Like I
So
like that.
some women say that they like that, and then other women say that they just want you to be in control. Um, so I mean, that dominance thing has a whole spectrum of itself. It's
Yeah,
crazy because it could be, like you said, as simple as putting a wrist down, or you know what I mean.
yeah, like
Just
you
different
trying to run
levels
and they
to
grab you back, like that kind of stuff. You know, these are like dominant things on like a more still vanilla level, but like I don't even call
how
it
do I
vanilla
increase
because
the aggression in the bedroom? How do I get more
talk
aggression? Talk.
consent first because again, it's like for me, I might like getting choked. Somebody else that may be a hell no for them.
Hmm.
Um, you might always initiate. That for some people is considered a form of dominance. I really just like again, like say, talk about it, even though anything can happen and sometimes we do make mistakes. Some things like you don't want to smack someone in the ass during sex and it's like the whole vibe is going, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
have a conversation. It doesn't have to be serious. It could be something sexy like, oh, if I smacked your ass, would you like that? Like, you know, find out or start off slow. Like I give you a light tap. Is that hard enough for you? If she asks for a harder, then we increase the intensity. Things like that. Loving this. Excuse me, madam. Would you be down for it? I like that. Leave my hug. Sly hinky pinky. I like that. I don't have the accent. I wish I did, but
You're gonna get better at it. But yeah, exactly. I think that if that's your comfort space, being polite, there shouldn't be anything wrong with that. And I think you should still be able to have some diversity, change gears,
yeah.
and kind of remain true to who you identify as.
Yeah,
Um,
because I mean, it's
for
all
sure.
exploration, especially with partners, especially with new partners. You're not gonna know right off the bat with them. Like that's why I said some things like there are, and like I said, for me, those are little things that I just find to be dominant in the bedroom. Some people may not disagree, like, oh no, like, but again, that communication, like I said, it can be like a dirty, sexy conversation, like, oh, you like when I do that to you? You like when I do that? Like, and again, it's fun, but it's still letting you know what is acceptable with this partner and what's not acceptable.
So, at what point do you make a decision with a partner? If you negotiate, you talk about it, you guys understand wants and needs, expectations. Um, at what point do you make a change or replacement
With a partner or like with things that you do in the bedroom?
with a partner? Because I mean, if you're
Mm.
consistent or you're on your platform, whatever, you like what you like, and they're just consistently
So,
unable to deliver, it's probably going
so
to be
is this somebody you're dating? Are we using an example of dating people? Like we're dating
yeah,
versus a relationship? It's
relationship.
still gonna take work. So I mean, I know personally for me, I'm not gonna just throw somebody to the side right off the gate because what if there's endearing qualities about the partner beyond the bedroom? I mean, don't get me wrong, the
Very true.
bedroom is important, but what if that person satisfies other needs in my life? I'm still going to try it. That's why I said it's an exploration. You don't know what y'all might stumble upon that you guys like. I mean, because I've had an issue like that. I'm dating somebody. Okay, the dick right now ain't slapping. I start brainstorming. Hey, text them. What if I bring this toy? You gonna be down with it? We try it out. Oh, we have fun. We try something else. Okay, things are getting a little bit better. So I would still give them a chance. And then, this is also how we have I don't want to say everybody. This is how we also have our different couples who go to swingers clubs or who you see
Right.
who do open relationships or do cucking and stuff like that. Some of them do explore those things because maybe in the bedroom it's not. That doesn't mean their whole relationship is rocky, but maybe in the bedroom they're
Yeah.
trying to find other things that make them satisfied. So, like I said, for me, I know some people may find it corny. They just want to jump right into business, but I
Right.
feel like that communication is key, especially if you're in a relationship. You know, sex is important, yes, but I know for me, I'm not going to throw somebody away right off the gate who's a good person just off of maybe one or two bad experiences. We can still tweak some things. We can still add some things. We can see what else is fun. And then again, we got to think beyond penetration. There's more to sex than just being penetrated.
One or two, not six or eight. But Legmog, he said, yeah, in real life, I'm super polite and nice. In online dating, I hear a lot of, you're really nice, but I see you more as a friend. Laughing out loud, FML, need to find that inner lion. Uh oh.
Mm.
Maybe not necessarily. I mean, it's kind of the
Yeah,
conversation we're having now. You need to
yeah, because
connect
I
with
mean,
somebody
because if
who
you like being
gravitates
that
towards it.
nice, if that quote unquote nice guy, I put
Mhm.
quotes because if you like being if that's your mood, someone out there is gonna like it.
Absolutely,
Someone
absolutely.
out there will.
Because you don't have to get everybody, man. Don't feel like you got to get them all. It's not Pokemon. It's the love game or the
And you
pleasure game.
probably already have the inner lion. Usually, the quieter, mild mannered
Hmm.
guys are usually the ones behind closed doors that usually be the lion.
Beasting.
If you don't talk
Um,
about it, you will be about it.
absolutely. So don't feel bad about that. I think I can relate very much because I'm pretty chill. I'm very laid back, and I'm just exploring this whole thing and trying to figure out how to maybe get some more excitement going because I see that that's a missing ingredient in the bedroom. I think that for sure. He said, "Don't talk about it, be about it." That lands so much. Yeah.
I mean, listen, there are some. I hate like it's men and women, but there are some people who talk a good game. They the best in the world. They gonna break your back, and then they ain't about nothing. It's all
Whack,
for show.
whack, whack,
Yeah,
whack.
it's all for show. That's usually how that goes.
Yeah. So, with all that being said, I love that your foundation is about communication. When you're in a relationship, or I guess just in connection with someone, it seems like you communicate daily or consistently. Hmm.
Oh yeah. As the older I get, I just value it more. Um, I know a little bit more each year, each day as I get older about what I like. I really feel that quote is true. The older you get, the freakier you get. And I
Mm.
mean, you're more self aware of yourself, I feel like. So it's easier to sit down and have those conversations or even in the bedroom. Like some people get so, like when I was younger, I understand that it does, like, oh, I didn't really like when he did this or when she did that. But it's okay to like politely say something like, hey, can we turn this way? Can we do that? It's not being rude, it's making sure that you both have a pleasurable experience.
It's enjoying the experience, and I mean, I'm learning that
Yeah.
too, because I think everyone, to a certain extent, is selfish. So we think in ourselves first, and then when you I think are empowered by what you can do to a partner, it gets
Hmm.
kind of exciting. So yeah, for sure, I can relate to that. I just
Yeah.
constantly looking for a way to enhance that life. I appreciate you chopping it up with me, talking with me about it. Um,
Oh,
and Legmog, my guy, I think that you got a lot of power that you're about to find, man. Like if you're in the game, you're talking online, you're doing the online dating thing, you can find a lot of success. I think that's a great platform to get to know partners, to let partners
we have to
connect to
talk
you.
about online dating then, because online dating be like worries me.
What I would love to do a show about online dating, but let me ask you, what negative experiences have you had dating online?
It's well, the only it hasn't been like super negative. Like I
Hmm.
don't know. I just like the idea of like us meeting in the real world, but I know that online is like now where society is at.
I would think you'd be such a hot commodity in real life because people have these unexplored sides. So I kind of get where you're coming from, saying that nah, like that's not for the general public, general consumption. I got to meet
Mhm.
somebody that I know is going to be on the level. Um, Uh-oh. Um, Legmog, he said he's dated girls who have had horror stories. Totally get what she's saying. Yeah, I mean,
Mm. But I'm like, I always want to try because I'm like, this is where the world is at now. That's where you meet people. And I mean, I've had people have success stories. I had a friend get married off of POF of all things.
plenty of fish. Wow. I used to work for that company, IAC, that did all those dating apps.
Hmm.
It's incredible the amount of connections that go on. Like I want to say it's like 60 plus 70 something percent of all new relationships, like marriages, come from online dating.
Wow, I could believe that.
It used to be the workplace. Like I think 30 years ago, 20 something years ago, it was a workplace, like 60 or 70%. That's where you met. um, their, I guess, final partner. A lot of these people were married, and then they found their new spouse at work. So,
But on the
words
internet,
to
I
the
want to
wise.
say it's like I
Don't
be
play
trying to
this
think
work
of a
husband
horror
stuff.
story. But one day, we gonna have to talk about that though.
What you're apprehensive about doing the online dating thing?
I don't. I think no. You may not have been in the fan base room when I talked about like recently when I was starting to talk to the Dom who I met. It was on not a dating app per se, but on a BDSM social networking site, and that was a shit show.
I think you named that app, and I forgot.
Fat
It's
life,
fetish
fat
something.
life.
Fet Life. That's what it is.
Hmm.
Legmog is saying that thinks meeting girls is always best though. I started
In
partner
real
dating
life,
recently, and I wish I did it years ago. Salsa, West Coast, etc. Oof, the best way
that
to meet people
is.
in real life.
That sounds like a great way to meet people. Oh my
Yeah, it
goodness.
does.
Look at dancing. Wow.
You
Legmog is
doing it.
doing the thing.
Legmog doing it, man. You
He
got all
talking
the
about that
pieces to
inner
play.
lion. He's bold. You know how much courage it takes to go out and dance?
Bachata. Bachata is what you want to get into next, Leg Mog. That's some sexy dancing,
Oh,
usually real sexy women. I don't know what kind of women you like, but those are definitely my type.
wow.
um, but yeah, online dating has worked for me. I, it's definitely worked for me. I've had a lot of success with it. Um, I think I've had a couple little uncomfortable, less than comfortable situations, but nothing too crazy. I know I was really apprehensive about it before I actually jumped into it, but like I said, I
Mm.
worked for IAC. I was working for the company. I was doing marketing for them, and I learned so much stuff about apps probably about 4 or 5 years ago. And I've been finding my way for the last few years, and it's been good. There's so many apps now, though. Let's see. Yeah, but Shaka is definitely where it's at. It is definitely
Oh,
where it's at. Um, but yeah, those apps, you can meet some people that are really looking for something because a lot of the women that you connect with, they'll tell you like, man, I met with this dude. He was so creepy. He made, you know what I'm saying? Like they always have that negative story, and then they have like, well, I did meet this guy that was nice, and I do like this about it, et cetera, et cetera. So I think it's a good investment if you're looking for something specific.
okay.
If you're really looking for a long-term relationship or something like that, I think you
Then
could find
that's where you go.
success. Yeah, but if you're
One
looking
day,
for Fet
one day.
Life, you're looking to get off, like there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you want to, you could certainly meet people online, but you value the connection. And I think that the relationship is integral in your connection. Like you really, really like the specialness of the connections you make. I respect that. I wouldn't
Yeah,
want you
especially if you're looking for
to.
like a dom or like a consistent partner, you still like a play partner, you still have to have trust and still like even if it's not a serious like we're about to get married
Right.
relationship, you're still building a relationship and still a friendship. So
It's a
yeah, but
serious
like
relationship, just not maybe a
yeah,
serious romantic relationship.
relationship exactly. So
Uh-huh.
even when they do like shifty stuff, I'm like, really,
It's it,
really, just
it's heartbreaking, huh? A little bit.
it's just annoying because it's like the maturity level. Like I said, the story with the dom, like at
Mm.
and no one judge because I know I'm not super young, but young enough. This guy
I
was
don't know
like,
how old you really are though. You're not in the gang. I don't think you in the gang. You 25.
I'm not 25 though, but yeah, I'm not in the 30 thing yet.
Yeah,
Not yet.
yeah, I don't think
Soon,
so. But
soon, but
those years will add up though, and I think that you are wise beyond your years in a lot of different areas. Your emotional intelligence is really strong. I think your heart
I'm
is
wise enough to know
very.
that somebody who is like in their 50s don't need to be lying about their relationship status. That is it's so immature. Like I could see somebody in their 20s doing that with me, yes, but someone that old,
That's the thing though. Like, I don't think you like to be fetishized, and
no, I just
when
want it to be manipulated. Like in that situation, yeah, fine, you can fetishize me a little bit because that's even though, but I'm still trying to build a trusting relationship with you. But it's the line. I don't like when people lie. Like you can tell me the truth and then let me decide from there. Some women out there want to be side pieces. I do not. I have done that in the past. It's not fun. I don't like the karma that comes with it. I think it's bad energy.
It
So
is.
I'm out of that phase in my life. But
Good.
like I said, to be in your 50s and, oh, I'm in an open relationship. My wife knows that I'm into the BDSM community. She doesn't care. And then the next thing I know, your wife is like, where the fuck are you at? Who are
Exactly.
you with? No, I don't want
All
that kind of
cap.
drama.
That's all cap. Don't fall for it, Syren. You know them lies.
Yeah, I know. But it's like these, like, yeah, some of these people out here are crazy. And even with him, it's like, I mean, I'm good at like learning how to plug, but please, haven't you had a time to think about it? Can we still be friends? Please, like, can you talk to me? No, like, how old are you?
I like that
Yes,
comment.
you have to fuck with the truth. Exactly. So it's like, I mean, at some point in your life, just be honest. Like I said, there are some women out there who can be a side piece or be involved with somebody who has a partner who doesn't know about that. But no, like at a certain age, you get tired of drama.
Yeah, I mean, I value myself enough and the connection enough, like we're talking about. If you have honest intentions or you're in it for what you're in it for, it should just be about that. It shouldn't be all the
Exactly.
distraction. Let's see here. Uh-oh. Getting some serious truth bombs.
Man, drop the hair. Trying to.
Absolutely. And I
Please, I
mean,
mean, and that's with anybody, friendships, relationships, whatever. Like,
right.
there's no need for that. I mean, we all are human. We make mistakes. But I mean, to start off with any kind of relationship based off of a lie, no, very bad. Your intentions already look skewed to me.
It's not karma, it's just a setup. You're just
Yeah,
setting a precedent. And if you start out lying, you're gonna have to make bigger and bigger lies, bigger and bolder lies. And
keep
you
lying.
can't really respect someone that you're lying to like that, unfortunately, because it is a form of abuse. So
Yeah,
for sure. I'm with you. You're not worried about it at all, and I think that's beautiful. You shouldn't be, but you have no idea how much positive energy you have coming to collide with you. You have a lot of positive
yeah.
energy chasing after you from the universe. It's gonna find you, and it's gonna love you infinitely. So
Well,
receive that
thank you.
for sure, for sure.
Mm.
um, I know you're on break right now. I'm just now kind of pushing through this first season of my vlog. I think I'm going to try to do about 20 to 25 episodes.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's different. Podcasting is great. I love podcasting, but now I'm doing this vlog thing, and it just seems like that's going to be appropriate for me to get out everything I want to get out in this first
Oh
season.
yeah, for that makes
Mhm.
sense because you got to push a lot of content. Shoot, yeah, I think you can do it. You consistent with Modern Black Man, so
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to get it right. My man Leg Mob. He said, my friend once went right down a toxic self improvement rabbit hole. Really started thinking his shit didn't stink and he was some James Bond alpha. Went on a date thinking he was a boss. The girl sniffed out his BS. He came home literally in tears and saying how his only option was to spend a stack on going to a Tony Robbins event. Oh my.
that last part took me.
Wow. So he got addicted to presenting a self improvement person. He got addicted to trying to be that person, and it sounds like he got in on it over his head. Yeah, with a
And that's
1K
see,
investment.
and this is why I want that alpha male mess to stop. Oh my, because it's a scam. It's the same thing. Like even for women, like you on one. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to go on my tangent. The internet in general became like people are so addicted to that stuff now. Like I swear to goodness, for the dating pool, Kevin Samuels, who's that other guy who cheated on his
Derek
wife?
Jackson. Derek
Yes,
Jackson.
they're just, like people are so invested in whatever these people say. It's the same thing. I like Will and Jada, but
I
same
hate
thing
it.
with them. People are, but see, the issue, people are so invested in these life coach, dating guru things, alpha male. Now they have femininity training. I'm just like,
Now
it,
that might be that is different. I'm gonna hit that femininity training thing. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's lying. Just be you and make the decisions to accept you with your indiscretions. Don't try and paint a picture. What you do in the dark always comes to light.
you know,
Absolutely.
facts.
Femininity training. You know what? I don't think that there's necessarily accuracy to that, but for years you heard about how irresponsible men were and how they weren't, good fathers, and that's so far from the truth now. Most black
That's the
men don't
example
have
that they
kids,
push out there, but it's not true. We see a lot of good fathers.
right? I
We
only know good dads. People don't give other humans enough credit for how accepting and forgiving we are. Like, be upfront and let's break bread. Yes,
exactly.
that's it. That's absolutely
Because
it.
I agree. But that
Um,
on both sides, this alpha male training, femininity training. Like I've watched some of the femininity coaches, and you know what they talk about? It literally is. It literally is. I went to this girl's page and she's talking about. It literally is just a push for. I'm like, oh, y'all are just. You just want to be sex workers. This lady was trying to teach women how. Oh, if you start reading books and doing your makeup, you can get you a rich man who'll take care of you. What kind of advice is
that's not
that?
empowering. Okay, yeah, that's not empowering.
Which is
Like,
nothing wrong with if that's your career and you want to be a sugar baby, because let's call it what it is. Totally
mhm,
fine. But people in those dynamics know what they're into. They're not finessing somebody thinking that they're falling in love with somebody to get their money.
right.
Like on both sides. Man, you're always pretending. Yes, making this big story about what an alpha boss you are. Yes, thank you. And it is drive. I so agree. It is driving people insane, thinking that they need to attain this alpha male or this quote unquote feminine. Just be yourself when you're dating. You're gonna find eventually who you vibe with, who that connection is made with. That person will come to you. You can't rush it. You shouldn't be. Honestly, I agree.
Right.
Not every
I
move,
agree
and
so much. Like, that whole alpha male thing it's
it's
rubbish.
becoming toxic.
Yeah, well, it's a bunch of lies, and I mean,
And I'm not saying it as like toxic masculine. I'm saying toxic as
hmm,
in I feel like these. You know what these people remind me of?
hmm,
Remember at the beginning of COVID when everybody was selling the tummy tea? This is the same concept because have
giving
you seen the
everybody
packages?
diarrhea.
Yeah, have you seen the packages for how much these people charge to coach you on these things?
No, I could only imagine
Um,
it's super crazy.
Hundreds and thousands of dollars.
No, and see, that's the new hustle is that people are absolutely taking advantage of people's low self esteem and
Yep,
vulnerability.
making me feel like shit. Oh, you can't
Yeah,
find a man, you can't find a woman. Here's why: you're not an alpha man.
but
You're
Kevin
not feminine
Samuels
enough.
was good at it. He was devastating black women, talking horribly about women, and he blew up from it. And
Yeah,
now
that's his whole platform.
that's his whole. I mean, some things obviously there's some elements of
He
truth,
has some, yeah,
but the way that he
he has
goes
some good
about it,
points. It's
he's got low
disheartening.
self esteem, and you can tell. And he's just all about being better than whatever woman calls him for help, and dragging her on the show.
But I've
It,
seen him some embarrass some men. I feel like he does. Don't get me wrong. Like because a man like a guy first introduced me, kept saying he's like, oh, you're not gonna like him because you're a feminist. I was like, first of all, no, I have tuned into a few of his episodes. He does have some good advice sometimes.
mhm.
However, I don't vibe with him. I didn't vibe with him at the time because every time I watch you, you're talking down to somebody, and I feel like you're not doing it for good intent. You're doing it because this is how you get your viewers because they want to see you embarrass
Did
somebody.
you see him do Tommy Loren?
No.
It was a fair interview. He was very nice to her.
Okay.
Um, let's see here.
I think that because what happened, my friend, it's like, oh hey, let me know to think you suck. Yes. Yes.
And
And
own
you know
away.
what? And it's funny because you know the time that we're seeing a boom in this is COVID,
Yeah.
post COVID, especially people are coming out of being in anxious
Lockdown.
places. Anxiety and depression was a full time high. So now, what do? You come out with a way for people to make money off of people's mental health being shitty and their self esteem. It just seems horrible to me.
Opportunistic. It's not. It's what the internet's all about. It's why I hate Instagram. I hate all these robots that try to redirect you to the sex site. I hate Twitter because it's like there's so much activity going on right in front of us. It's crazy.
There's so
But
much good Twitter porn though.
well, that's why I'm upset about it, because it's like I didn't come here for this, but it's like, this y'all should get paid. Yeah, you're
Oh, that's
doing
what
good
they
work.
do. They do the small clips for their OF, promotion. But I love it. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, it does. It's great promotion. I have subscribed to a few people's only F based OF
What, you
based
subscribe to
points.
OF?
Yeah, because so let me be very honest. I don't like directed porn.
Yeah.
I
What
like amateur.
what do you call that though? Not amateur. What do you call it? Not improv, not extemporaneous.
I don't know,
Is
but
it voyeur, where it just
no,
happens?
it's really to me. I really call it amateur because I mean, yeah, some of these people now, like with OnlyFans really bumping, they do have people who record it, but for the most part, it's not people who are associated with a studio or going through a manager. They are literally making this homemade, and it's like, yes, it feels more real. It feels natural. Directed porn is just like, oh yes, like I mean, what pizza man is coming to your damn house giving you the pipe? Never
So
happened,
what happens in
but
the OF porn? Like they just go at it. There's no facade.
they sometimes they have like, but not like it's not like facades like that. Like I've seen like some kinky stuff. Like usually it's just like who was this girl I used to follow? I used to follow this girl like she was the cream queen. Like she was really dope. Yeah,
Hold up. My girl followed Cynthia, or she's got a weird name like that. Cynthia.
maybe. And I think she's like Jamaican or something. She's really
No, no, no.
pretty.
This is a white girl. She's very European.
Oh,
Um,
I've never seen her.
she's not sexy to me, but like I think a lot of women started following her because of what she can do to her body. Um, but yeah, you talking about this Jamaican? Sound like she thick, in
Yeah,
all the right
she's the
places.
cream queen. But like her
Right.
stuff is just good. I like the amateur because it's like I don't want to see nothing. I think it's worse than self love and being preying on women who haven't found their inner worth. Then when they run to a strong woman who knows her worth, then they yes, I hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as I literally there was a man who tried to fight with me not too long ago to bounce off that. I know I just jumped from porn to, but there was a man who followed me because there was this tweet or something. The smart hole, y'all don't have a studio. Yeah, listen, we are getting it out the mud, just having like real conversations.
Right.
But there was this guy who I had posted this. I had posted, thoughts or something about. It was a Facebook post where this guy said, this girl was like, y'all must be scared of strong women, and this man literally went on a tangent in her comments saying that it's that the women nowadays, think that they're dominant, and you want to know why he said we're dominant because we have careers and like to go to
Yeah.
school. He said that's so unattractive. Who wants to date a woman who always has to work or go to
I
school?
see this dude getting dragged. I didn't see the whole argument, but a female friend of mine who's a boss, she got a whole green screen on him talking about how offended she is. But I don't accept his argument, but I get what he's trying to say. He's trying to say that because women are essentially equated to male success, it's it's less attractive because of what it does to the male ego.
But why would it? Okay, if I've dated men who most of the men I have dated, don't get me wrong, are not in the same like don't really have a career. They just working jobs, and there's nothing wrong with that. I've never chastised them, but I know damn well you don't think I'm gonna throw away my career and my degrees I worked hard for. I don't think nothing of it. I'm just a woman who needs to pay the bills, and this was just the career field I chose. It's not that I'm and that's what like this guy argued with me talking about, oh, well, he said you know, you guys just throw it in our face. And I'm like, I don't throw it in anybody's face that, for example, I have my certain career. It's just what I do. I mean, I don't know why you would be offended by me working and going to school. I have a life. I want to meet certain aspirations. I don't think I'm a man. I enjoy being a woman. Gas is $4 a gallon. Okay. Let me put it that way.
She said,
And what
and
am I
you get
supposed to,
that?
yeah. Yeah, I'm like, that's what, yeah, chubby, because I'm like, I can't understand, like, who wouldn't, like, it's confusing for us as women nowadays, because what do you guys want? If I'm not working and I'm asking you for money, I'm using you as a trick and I'm a gold digger. But now I'm working and it's unattractive. What the hell am I supposed to do? I got bills.
You
Gas is
know,
$4 a gallon.
I think I can relate to that though, because again, I've dated a lot of very successful women. I've dated women with great careers, and I think that we all have certain chips on our shoulder, whether it's men or women, and we're just figuring it out. Is really what I think on that. I'm gonna drop
Because
this
I mean,
comment.
like I said, it for me as a woman, it really it hurts me and it disappoints me because I feel like there is no right way to go. I thought I would think in my head that if a man was looking for me, like looking to date me, he would like that I'm about my hustle. He
Business.
would like that I'm paying my bills, that I'm going to school, that I have goals and aspirations. But then on
I
the
like
other
that.
end, but on the other end, now I'm seeing a Facebook post that no, that's unattractive. You think you're too much of a man because you go to school and you have a career. But okay, on the other end, I'm hearing these men say, I don't like taking girls on no date. That's tricking. What do you want me to
Yeah,
do?
that's we're gonna talk about that. That's the problem with where we're at. He's talking about what I've heard referred to as tigmag. What is it? Men going their own way.
Mm-hmm.
MGTOW. In America, we have a lot of those problems. We've got a lot of incels. We've got a lot of our young men that just generally hate women now because they
Yeah.
lost their ability to socialize. He said that they call it the red pill. That's interesting. And then what a Kit Kat. Nothing more attractive
Yeah.
than a woman holding her own, paying her bills, and can walk away at any moment. No string attached.
Thank you.
Means we
Because we were
both
both because
are
we
here because we want to be here.
because even for me, not because thank you. Because even for me, I definitely understand the men who are like, I don't want a woman who's chasing. I don't want to chase after a man because of his money. I want to chase after a partner who I really enjoy as a person, who I can build with together. Not
Yes.
somebody who, I mean, again, we may not both make the same amount of money, but at least you know when you meet me, I ain't about to be sitting here just, hey, I'm trying to live with you and move with you, and I need you to just take care of me. You know, I can offer something to
Yeah.
whatever dynamic we create.
I
So
love
it's
it when a
like,
woman earns and has some stability. It is a huge thing.
yeah. So for somebody to be like, "Oh, you women have careers and that's unattractive. You gonna have to cancel dates because of school." Wait, what? What do you want me to
Someone
do?
said that you have to cancel dates because of school.
That's what the man said in his post. And then there was a, I don't know if you ever seen the woman. I gotta find this video. She went viral. She was a hoteptress. I call them
Hmm. Polyamorous. She had a few. She probably got a phone call. I was about to ask her about MGTOW. As soon as she comes back with us, I'm gonna see if she knows anything about MGTOW. You with us, Syren?
Wait a minute. Hold on. It's not working correctly.
No. Uh-oh.
Let me see. Okay.
I can you hear me? Okay.
It slowed your voice down.
I think sometimes the internet gets a mind or a life of its own. I didn't try to slow it down. I promise. Um,
Hold on. I'm gonna leave and come back. Hold on.
okay. She's coming right back. We're going to talk about MGTOW and wrap this one up. Definitely a good conversation. I just think that no matter what we do, having that independence is huge. So I support anybody that's getting it. You back with
Okay,
us?
sorry about that.
No,
Yeah, it
that's all
like
right.
I was trying to decline somebody's call and it slowed your voice like it was like whoa.
Sound
I'm
like the
like,
Matrix?
yeah, no, but like it sounded like somebody chopped and screwed whatever you were saying. That's how it sounded.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I really and it's like I said, I hate to have to clarify because of course it's
Uh oh.
there are some great guys out there. My bad. I don't know what my phone wants to do. There's some great guys out there. There are some great women out there, but there's these attitudes towards women that really annoy me. With the whole Tetris lady, there was this
We must have some MGTOW guys on the line. I want to get to MGTOW. She's gonna get back. We're gonna talk about this hope textures. Anyhow, here we are.
okay. My phone is on do not disturb, but yes, this lady went viral. She had a whole thing about how these new age black girls are pitiful. Yes, was talking about how could you guys want to go to school? Y'all need to be having y'all asses in the house, taking care of the kids and the black man. Like that's you. But then my question is, okay, so turn 18, okay, boom. Your parents don't want you just wasting using up their money, so you're not working, you're not going to school. Am I supposed to just go sit outside on the side of a street with a sign like, please marry me, struggling?
That's such a unique one. I just don't believe women really have those issues. I think that women get so immersed in their careers and education that they're not as active, maybe, as their counterparts. But then at the same time, I know a lot of these gals go to HBCUs and have good jobs, and they do the most. They are always doing something. I mean, they
Mm-hmm.
don't lack for a thing. So if I'm reading the situation the way I feel I'm reading the situation, I think it's because young girls have so many options and they're so easily taking advantage of these options that someone from a previous generation looks at it like y'all are missing out on life because those connections are more valuable, or even having kids, the experience of being a young mother.
But is
The
it I mean, I'm not saying that because I mean I'm a parent, so and I
mm,
don't want to say that. But is it? I want to ask. My question is it feasible? Because look at the world we live in now. It would be really hard to tell someone that yeah, you need to lay in wait for a husband. I know back in the day it worked, but now like I just put up earlier, gas is $4 a gallon. The cost of living is extremely high. Most even couples nowadays, both of them are working. Mom and
yep,
dad
yep.
are going to work. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with those households that can possibly, fund each other where whether it be dad is taking care. I mean, I know we talked about this. Dad is taking care of the household, beautiful thing. Mom's
Hmm.
taking care of the household, beautiful thing. But nowadays it's really not feasible. People can't even afford to do that anymore.
Right. He said back in 2015-16, I unfortunately got drawn into this kind of anti SJW, anti feminism.
Mhm.
That was big online. I've got so out of that now, it's unreal. But I feel I can understand it a bit, being as I used to low key believe in it years ago. But I
Yeah.
cringe at the past. Look at me now.
Good for
Wow, good
you.
work. Good work.
Yeah. Because there can be a lot. There are a lot of, and it's on both sides. You have your hardcore men bashing women, and I feel like I've had my times when I've done that. So I need to get out of that phase as well.
I've bashed a
Same.
specific woman. I've only crossed one woman in my entire life that I felt needed to really be aired out like that. But yeah, you said you've experienced that, the human dynamic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've been on all the planes. I used to be a slut shamer. I used to be really bad. So it's like, you grow, you learn, and you grow.
Hmm.
But there definitely is. I hate to like say it, but there definitely is a market, especially like Fit and Fresh podcast for
Man, those guys are getting it. I
yeah.
mean, I think what they're saying though, it's just interesting because they're pretty disrespectful. They're
Oh yeah, it's
saying
totally disrespectful.
essentially black women don't have value. And it's like, yo, like look at your platform. You own, like I would feel that way too. You're not meeting doctors, lawyers, women from church. You're meeting all the women that are most vulnerable by society. I think that you're meeting a lot of the women that I think people want to shame, are quick to try to shame. And that's unfair because unfortunately, a lot of these women are savvier than their doctor lawyer
And you think,
counterparts because
yeah,
they're not in that same service or that same industry. So
that's just that's what society puts on you. But yeah,
yeah,
they're. I mean, there's a lot of just disrespect that needs to stop.
I remember when I was in college when I kind of peeped that bubbling. Those guys that read Maxim magazine and they think that their girlfriend's gonna look like a Sports Illustrated model. They like Victoria's Secret,
Oh
and then when
man,
Uncut came on at 1 a.m., those are the same guys like, oh, that's horrible. How could these women do that? So I think it's
but
a
they still
little
want to
element.
watch it.
Yeah, and I think it's a little element of self hate. I think that that's in there because of the reflection. They see something that reflects back to them, so they feel like they're looking in a mirror and they have to reject it. But that's a bigger, more complicated psychological clinician that's going to be needed to
Mhm.
diagnose that. But yeah, Fresh and Fit, they get in the business. That young lady, Brittany Renner, I think she's starting. She's trying to counter it. I think she's definitely been a victim of slut shaming, and I think that one of the most lethal things we can do is give her a voice. Because Fresh and Fit, they tried to come at her, and she called them all out their name. She she
Good for
called them
her.
all kind of bitch asses and everything else. So I think that those guys are going to be finding themselves in a predicament here really soon because I feel like they were trending, they were growing, and
And a
now
lot of people were talking, and a lot of people have like had a lot of negatives to say about them lately. So
yeah,
I think that'll end. I mean, it's like I'm with you. It's those guys who we're reading Maximum Playboy, but then we see this and oh, these are the sluts and whores, and you
yep,
we know you're still again. How do you know the sluts and whores if you ain't watching it?
exactly. It's all about power. At the end of it all, it's always about power and the
That
shaming
reminds me.
piece.
That reminds me of the one guy in the fan base room where they were trying to. Oh my gosh,
A
where
hotel,
they were. Yes, the gang, one of the gang, and he
yeah,
was talking about like they were talking about do women dress for men's attention, but a lot of we left. I know a lot of us left the room because they kept going on and wouldn't let women talk. And there was this one guy. He was like, yeah, every time I scroll on my Instagram, all I see is these half naked women with their asses out. And I remember telling somebody later, like, that's really funny because that means he's following the half naked women with their asses
he
out, who he
is.
seems to not like.
He
So I
absolutely
mean,
is. And I think
so
that that's history though. Like that's why in a lot of cultures we demand that women wear burqas and hijabs to protect them from men's eyes,
yeah.
right?
And it's like there has to. It's the same thing with the American church. So I've had, and I love my grandmother to death, but my grandmother is literally one of the people like, well, the women can't wear that to church because then you'll make the man sin. Okay, he's not grown and can't be held responsible for his eyes.
Okay, we just did this on my other show on Cursing Christian podcast. Um, the Billy Graham rule. Have you ever heard of it?
Mm-mm. I've heard
Okay.
of Billy Graham, but not there. There's a rule.
There's a rule. So if you're involved in the church, I know a lot of guys growing up in the church have to observe this rule. I observe this rule. You can't be alone with a woman you're not married to. So it's
Mm.
very controversial, very spicy. If you see a real clergyman in a vulnerable situation, we had a great conversation about it because I think a lot of things patriarchal it revolves around protecting the man, right?
Mm-hmm.
Women are victims of sexual crimes, but it's
And
perpetuated.
men too.
Yeah, and men too. But we perpetuate women as the aggressor with
Yeah.
something like Billy Graham. I observe the rule. I try to observe the rule, but I've certainly have had friends in the church fall out. I've had homies that had their own church. They had a congregation. It was growing, but they couldn't stop messing with everybody in the church. And I think that that is a classic, a classical situation or failure. Why is that, right? Like
Yeah.
it's the way it always is. Let's
Like,
see.
oh, I wouldn't have did it. She ain't had that tight skirt on. Like, bro, what?
But well, I'm gonna talk about it. He said I always laugh on Twitch, for example, when people be all "R." These sexy girls are just using their sex appeal to exploit dudes, and I be all So if you got it, flaunt it. Yeah, what's wrong with that? I've naturally been quite good at art, so I do it as my job. And damn straight, if I naturally look like friggin' Brad Pitt, I'd use my my looks as a job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Who wouldn't?
I can't be mad at you for it. But it's it is a bit of a double standard. We are so quick to condemn women, guilt women, make them feel bad, and try to take away their power. Because who doesn't like beautiful things? Only men that are bitter they don't look like Brad Pitt or can exploit themselves as easily as women, I think, find themselves jumping out there. Great point. This is my guy. I hope you follow me, man. I'm on all platforms. I'm at Chubby
Yeah.
Idris Elba. I'm on IG,
Both
Twitter,
him
Facebook,
and Kit
Snapchat.
Kat
You said
gave
the
a
Kit
lot
Kat?
of. No, that was the lady's name, right? Who was commenting. She gave a lot of.
Yeah, she did. She said some really good stuff.
Nice, yeah.
Kit Kat. I hope you follow me too. But it's crazy. I just always feel bad when my guys go down for that because think about it from the male perspective. You have a lot of women giving you adoration, positive feedback, and everything else, and to resist it is difficult. But that's your job. Kit Kat, she said, just being realistic, porn has ruined a lot of sexual idealism, unrealistic expectation, yes, and lowered men's stats
Yeah,
in bed. Ooh, wait a minute.
I
What do you mean
agree.
lowered men's stats in bed? I also
Oh, you
stream,
also
by the
stream on
way.
Twitch?
Uh-oh. Not
Oh, I have
streaming
to
the wall,
follow
but we're
you.
coming back. Yeah.
I'll
Inbox.
definitely follow you. Yeah, put your Twitch name. I can agree. That's why I said I only like amateur because like I feel like regular porn just gives you like it just looks fake.
That's interesting you say that.
Even the squirt, because a lot of people feel like porn is the way to learn sex.
Okay. Now, I'll admit, I can't watch porn with a partner, or I don't really do that. I don't
Really?
like. We can't. No, I've never find anybody that's like, you know what, I'm willing to watch. But I will say, I tried it. I think you told me, and yeah, you learn really quick. Your partner can learn really fast by watching that. But it's just hard. It's a hard do sometimes. It's a
What
hard
to
do
watch it with
sometimes.
the partner?
Because my girl, I think she gets jealous. Um,
Mm.
but she'll watch some like I played it and like I think we got a whole 5 minutes in. And she did something new and I was like, okay. I was like, this is okay. I was like, I get it. But it's so hard to watch. Maybe the amateur thing is easier. I just would rather
Man, shit,
take it.
record yourselves and watch it.
We have tried that, but I'm not even gonna go into that. We tried that. It's just that it gets, I like looking at my highlight tape. I think that it's just
I like
like,
watching mine later too.
yeah, like I be patting myself on the back. I be giving myself the MVP. I was like, yeah, that's rookie of the year performance right there.
So y'all are
That's
not those people because I had remember I was asking people on my Instagram, do you consider watching porn cheating?
well, yeah, I do.
Really?
Other people for sure. I do. Um, I don't want to ruin. I don't want to ruin the sex life, so I'm going to just say, look into the negative effects. Oh yeah,
Mm.
ooh, porn has on your stamina. That
Stamina,
means you're not
wow.
making her feel confident enough. Okay, okay. Um, mm, that's it.
Because
That's
it's
good.
interesting. I had a little laugh, so and I feel bad about laughing, but I used to dance. So I was
Mhm.
gonna go to this event and we were gonna have an after party. And the young lady who was having the event was like, instead of going to the club, I want to go to the strip club. And I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. So there's one girl is like going on about how like, oh, I want to go, but my boyfriend was gonna come out with me. Oh well, he'll have to stay at home. So I'm like, why the man gotta stay at home? I'm nosy. She's like, oh, because there's gonna be hot women there. He's gonna be looking. I'm like, oh, here we fucking go.
But you know, you exposed it for me. I'm not gonna lie. My girl likes that. I didn't get it. Because that would make me nervous. Because not like I do
I don't.
anything wild at the strip club, but when you're going with a partner, you don't want to hurt their feelings. And I don't think I would do anything to hurt her feelings, but that's why we would
I
go.
think it's a. I think it's on two parts. So number one, yeah, as a partner, do I want to make my partner confident and reassure them? Of course. But on the same time, like I tell people too, it also comes from the self love and being confident in yourself.
Mm,
I do hold that as a standard. At the end of the day, if I trust my partner, whatever dynamic we have, whether we're open or we're monogamous, and I trust you to be open with me just like I'm gonna be open with you. Hey, I mean me, I dated I'm gonna use men partners. Oh, she fine, ain't she? Yeah, she fine. It's just like with the porn. It ain't cheating to me, but I'm gonna be mad if you find some fire porn and don't forward it to me. Then we're gonna get into it. But
what?
me and my boyfriend used to be out like she got a fat ass now. She do.
Right.
I don't really get mad because I mean at the end of the day, if that's my partner and I trust them and they like me, then I know they like me and they got my own with me. I mean, I know it's different for some people. Again, there's still dynamics in certain rules in a relationship that you guys go by, and that's okay. But it's that again comes with having that discussion and sometimes some hard conversations. But also, like I said, you also have to have your confidence and your self love. If that's your man and he just looking at a girl with a fat ass, he was looking at her fat ass. If I'm at the strip club, I'm looking at ass too. We both looking
Right.
at ass.
Right. I, I think we should do Twitter because my phone just came back on in a minute.
Mm.
But I want to look at this comment from Legmog. You want to read that for me?
Yes, haha. If you are female, try to meet and remotely accomplish a career. So many dudes like, shh. Yep, how many dicks does she have to suck to get where she is? It's like,
Yeah,
oh, sorry. I didn't realize accomplished careers was the only domains for non attractive people. That is true. You do get that.
for sure.
I know.
I'd give many tips for you and wife if you're open.
Hey,
uh,
see?
let's see here. She said, "Have I do have many tips for you and wifey if you're open. I am open, Kit Kat.
Mm. So would
Um,
y'all? I'm nosy. Would y'all go to the strip club together?
yeah, I think she's more into that than I am because what I think her fetish is. I get nervous, man. I am
What are you
very.
nervous of?
I just get nervous. Like,
And we're coming in two different worlds. Very true.
the same thing I always tell you about. Like, I don't really desire anybody else, and I don't want her to feel like I
Because I
am.
don't think that she's trying to do. I don't think like when we talk about the power move. I really think that she might just like. I know I went through that. Like I have that term. Like if it's somebody I'm dating, like, ooh, I want to see them. Like I know how they are in bed, and I kind of want to see that pleasure in sleeping on somebody else in front of me.
Yes. And that's where my mind went like intellectually because I think that's how women are now. Like that offends me. Like I want my woman to work me out. I want my woman to make me, you
But
know what I
it's kind
mean?
of like a. I kind of turn it into. It's like a compliment. Like, dang, you fire, babe. I want everybody to know. And it may not be
Yeah,
everybody. I just want somebody
yeah.
I want to see it because I know, like, I tell people, like, when I have threesomes, I used to hate them, but then all of a sudden I got attracted to, damn, like, he got some fire dick and now she getting it.
She said don't do it. She's testing you.
I don't think she's testing him though, because she's the one who brought it up. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't. I don't always like to think of things as a power play because some people are genuinely into it. Like I said, I know personally for me, now don't get me wrong, I can't be cooked. I don't want to just sit there and watch, but I
I
want to
would
be
be
involved.
damned if I'm sitting there and watch. Oh no,
But some
that would
people think
traumatize.
that is so hot
Yeah, women,
just watching. And
women.
men.
Yeah, there's men like that. There are men. I told you about my boy. There are women. There are men like
Honestly,
that.
you see more known male cooks than you do women cooks.
I've seen it
But
in porn.
the males,
Yeah, like there's always like a
I've seen
cook
I've I've
is
met
what
so
it.
many I've met so many in real life. So it's like
Oh,
but the
I
women,
can
I
never.
mean, I personally I think that she's not testing, especially if she's brought to you like, hey, I kinda wanna try this a little into I wouldn't take it like that. I feel like that's kind of jumping to a negative conclusion.
Yeah, you're right, Kit
But I
Kat.
would but I would test I mean, I still would test the waters. And
She's
I
not.
mean, I would. You guys could have a deeper conversation about it and see where she's at. But for some odd reason, I really don't feel like. I don't think she is.
It's a power move. Yeah,
Plus,
I think
I
you're
think
right.
I personally feel like at a certain age that would be very silly of me to do that as a test on my partner, especially if we've been dating and I trust and I'm secure in this relationship. So I mean, if that needs to be evaluated, then so be it. Before jumping into anything, I do agree. Don't jump into anything that you could potentially feel would destroy your relationship. But I just don't like to jump to, oh, you just trying to do this to test me, and it could be end up being something that you guys try and could be a possibly fun experience.
Definitely received that. And I'm definitely open to trying some new things. What I'm working on
If
now,
you're comfortable with it, though.
all I'm trying to do now is have more sex. I'm not trying to be too complicated, and it's hard. Like she can't. It's a stamina thing, and then it's like like a physical thing. Like she just can't take a lot, so it's kind of frustrating. Requires a lot of patience. So baby steps.
You just learning. I mean, it's again like that gives you time to evaluate. Okay, where's your? Because I mean, I used to tell people all the time out there, I'm like, yeah, I'm super jealous, and no, the fuck, I'm not. Really wasn't.
Right.
So it's like you never know. So I said I don't like to jump to that. Oh yeah, it's a like because I mean at a certain age, I don't think anybody would like. I'm not gonna be like, hey, let's have a threesome and then let's see. Oh yeah, you like that? More like that's a lot to go through.
She's getting a gin and tonic
I'm
right now.
trying to.
That's what's
Oh,
up.
jeez. Now let me try to stay up longer. I literally slept the day away trying to recover from this trip. So I'm like,
Do you need to get some more rest?
I have to work in the morning.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna let you go here soon.
But
Um,
we can rock out for a little more time. What you mean, like sexual positions?
I think Kit Kat was asking about that. You mean sex positions, Kit Kat? Because I mean, I'm the way I'm tearing it down right now. I'm trying to hit it from the front more because that's what she likes. And I mean, I'm flexible. I'm doing all positions really. I'm not like dedicated to one right now because my goal is just to have more sex. But she makes it really difficult because she's tired. She's not in the mood and all that stuff. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Are there
It's
better times of day that work?
not in the morning because
Uh,
she's worse than a child in the morning. She swears she's so tired, and I'm like, nah. It's like I know what it's like to be tired. I remember when I was a young person and I had to get to school at like 6 something in the morning. Like, yeah, like, you can't give me that.
I understand her pain though, because I don't like to get up in the morning. So I agree.
I see you. I just that discipline. I think with that discipline, that's the only thing I'm really disciplined about is being able to get up in the morning. She said yes. She said you have stamina is an issue for her in weapons every position. The front, the back, the side, oral, it doesn't matter. Like I get frustrated with her because I feel like she just tries to block me, like my size.
Do you
Uh,
guys do a lot of foreplay?
mm,
Ooh, that's a good question.
no, no. That's why I wanted to break up with her at one point because she doesn't really she takes medication, so it makes it a little harder for her to
Yeah, that can.
yeah for her to enjoy it. But it's so hard for me to
So do y'all do a lot
enjoy
of
things.
foreplay?
I think sometimes it's all foreplay. How to do you know? Yeah, no. I didn't say yes. Um, we do a lot of foreplay. I mean, I think that I'm always touching her, feeling her, I do kissing, a lot of that stuff. It's just that the sex part doesn't really pop. I think we have a lot of foreplay. So I am the issue. I am absolutely the issue. Um, like I said,
Well, have y'all had that
running on at once.
conversation about things you guys enjoy?
Yes, and she says
Mm,
she's happy, but she doesn't have orgasms. And like I said, I know it's because of medication. She can't, you
that
know.
can be hard, but at least you
Yeah,
know that, and at least you understand. Like you have an understanding, because I know some people like again. That's why I said earlier, like that. Oh, things like when somebody's going, I'm just about to break up. Like there's so many factors that can go into why
ordinarily
certain
I would
things.
break up. I would break up with her so quickly, but I care for her very, very much.
Are you guys
Um,
lubers?
yeah.
Okay.
I use, but I found out I think I'm using too much
Is it ever?
because you can't feel it. There's no friction at all. Um,
Yeah, but I mean, we do have to still take into consideration people's medications can affect can mess with their sexual stamina. It can affect their arousal. It definitely does.
she says she's horny sometimes, but she can't like enjoy it. Like she says, she's just like, she says it's just not like it used to be, before
I know a
the
lot of my like a lot of well, I don't want to give away what I do for a job, but
sure.
we have that issue. I know like when I was,
Hmm.
with certain people, they
Hmm.
do bring up that issue and it is. I mean, there are people who talk about it. But there's still you can still look at different research. There are still things you can do, but it's trial and error and I mean, I'm thankful that you guys are putting in the work.
I need a therapy session. I know that I've experienced and been around people that guys that hate being on their meds because of this, the sexual dysfunction that can come from it. So
I know with some of the at least in the psych field with the psych medications, a lot of them I know nowadays we are getting some new gen ones that are changing. But it doesn't. I mean, it's psych meds, it's blood pressure meds. Specifically for for my people who are in my modality, the meds that they take mess with it. My friends who have ADHD, their meds mess with certain arousal. It is absolutely crazy. It is a major issue, unfortunately. And one thing I will say is, a lot of people complain that a lot of providers do not talk about that.
Right.
And I mean,
It's embarrassing. It's hard.
but you know what I hate for poor patients? This shouldn't really be an embarrass. It shouldn't. Patients shouldn't feel embarrassed to talk to their providers. And I've heard from patients that providers make them feel embarrassed because providers don't want to have those conversations. But it's a necessary thing to talk about. I
Yeah.
mean, sex is on the bottom of the Maslow pyramid of needs.
Oh, you said it's at the foundation, huh? It
Yes,
is
it is. It's down
physical
there with
needs.
yes, it's down there with food and water.
Yep. I
So
mean, it's
eating.
physiological needs. And I mean, if you don't get that, you won't be able to get to the third level. If you don't have any self esteem, you're going to be kind of useless. If you can't act, if you can't actualize, why are you here? Absolutely. And I try to be patient because she's wonderful. It's, she's a great person. I'm very, very lucky. And I'm also very attracted to her. So it's really different to kind of see that in the person that you're attracted to, to be like, wow, I think she really is just kind of dealing with this. And obviously we talk pregnancy, when women get pregnant, they have to get off their meds. And that's pretty scary for me because I don't want her to lose herself or our relationship to be in jeopardy. He said back, are we talking about Mr. Sad Floppy Mode? Oh, dang.
Yeah, because it can. I'm trying to like go through a list of because see, I've had this experience, and I would tell you guys right off that it made me disappointed. Like, see, I want to.
Ooh, it is an emergency. I mean, I definitely have been trying to get more aggressive about it lately. Um, it's important. It certainly is important.
It is, but I mean, I still like that you value guys, and you guys are working on it. I
Yeah,
don't like some people's medications. I know it is hard to change, especially depending on what you're going on. I'm just using my experience with psych. It is fucking trial and error. It is hard on the patients
are you a
because,
BT?
huh?
Are you a BT?
What's a BT?
Behavioral therapist?
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
no. I probably reveal some. A lot of people already know what I do for work, so it's like it's not really a big deal.
Yeah.
But so no, I'm actually a RN. I'll just put it
Okay.
out there.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
but I know, like especially doing. I mean, I did a short stint. I did not even short stint. I did a lot of psych work, and then now I do a different modality. But both patients in those realms have issues in the bedroom, and it's a hard conversation, but it's so necessary.
Absolutely.
Dude, I swear to you, but just be careful. I've heard a horror story with Viagra when I was younger, so just be careful.
Viagra is a great workout supplement. I know a lot of people
And a
use it
great
for
blood
function.
pressure medication.
Yes, for your lungs and
A
all.
lot of
But
yeah, a lot of women are on Viagra
ooh, I didn't know that.
because it's a blood pressure medication. Oh yeah, because if you just they use it as a blood pressure medication. Yes, it is prescribed for
Breast
both.
milk and Viagra
As
is what a
long
lot of
this
Miami
I
guys are
knew of
into.
a story where a guy who wasn't prescribed
Mm.
breast milk. Oh well, breast milk is popular.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Guys use breast milk and Viagra in the gym, and I think those are probably air
Okay.
quote natural bodybuilders. Um, I've never gone to that extent, but I have tried Viagra before and had really good results. You take like one pill, two or three workouts a week. I don't know about getting wood at the gym, but I know after the workouts you do have a pump, and I mean it's all over. So yeah, I mean you can use all these supplements different ways.
But
So yeah, I
Viagra,
didn't know. Yeah.
I just had somebody I went to high school with who knew of a kid who randomly took a Viagra. And what is a medical emergency called where you get a erection and it doesn't go away?
Oh my gosh,
It's
I
a
forget
name.
the word.
Or yeah, so that happens. It's not funny, but it's kind of.
Peyronie's disease.
It's called something else because
That's
it's
where
because
that's where the damage comes in, and it can swing a certain way. I don't have a hook in mine at all, so like I don't want
there's
to.
a word. Yeah, like, there's nothing
Yeah,
wrong with the curve, but I mean, at least like I respect you and you know your partner for working through that because it is rough. I know with
priapism,
my
priapism.
priapism, yes. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, which
yeah.
is a medical emergency, so you're going straight to the hospital. But
You'll scar the tissue. Like if you take it, you absolutely don't need it, or you take too many. Man, it can mess you up. It stops you from being able to get erections in the future.
yep,
That's why 2 years ago I was in really good shape, and I certainly did. It gave me great pumps. It works good, but it's a medicine and it'll throw off your blood pressure. It'll
yeah.
it'll do all kinds of stuff to you. So I never got too deep
Cause
into it.
that was because I'm pretty sure when Viagra first came out and was tested, that was like not blood pressure. They realized it was like, oh, this has effects on blood pressure. That's why I said there are women out there who are on it because it's blood pressure
Hmm.
medication. So it's pretty
Is there a
interesting.
female version of Viagra?
It's the same. It's literally the same formula. It's just
No, I'm saying
for
like,
blood
is there?
pressure.
I know Niagara was something they tried to come out years ago. It was supposed to make women
If it
horny.
is, they have that pink, so it's whatever it is. It's not prescription drug like Viagra is. But I know they were talking about that pink pussycat pill was becoming popular. Now, if it works, I don't know. I've heard things. I'm not willing to try it because I'm just too scared.
um, I'm trying. I'm trying. Yes, there is a version of. Please tell me what the female version of Viagra is before we wrap up, because I really want to know. Is it legal? A pill that makes women horny. I don't know if that would be illegal.
Drugs,
That's
drugs.
drugs. That's ecstasy. Um, that's probably what it's called. Yes, there is. Kit Kat, tell me what it is if you know. But yeah, right now I take yohimbine and protein, creatine. I work out, so those are only
Oh yeah,
supplements I take. Um, I would die if I had Viagra in my system. I get too ready now. Yes, there's Adii, Adai. I'm gonna put it on the screen. Doctor prescribe. I don't want to lose Syren again. I'm gonna Google this script and just see a little bit more about it. I think she might be in
didn't.
a.
Oh, it didn't
There,
take me out for good. And I. Okay.
it says it's for
Shit. What
men. It's
happened?
a hair loss treatment drug for men. Um, Hypertension, female. Philbanserin is the non-generic name. Ideal is a brand of it to treat it. Huh. Okay. Very cool.
That's a
Yeah,
good
I
one.
found it. Philbanserin is what it's called, and it's the brand that Kit Kat keeps telling us about is one of them, but it's used to treat decreased female desire. Very,
Oh,
very interesting. Let's see
that's
what she's talking about.
interesting.
One in there. There's a few. Cool. Okay. So there's a few of them. I might have to try to get familiar. Uh oh. I once heard a term
Yeah,
called
demisexuals.
demisexual. What is that? You can only feel. Yeah, I have heard of demisexual. See, and I think I might be closer to demisexual because I don't want to be a freak with everybody. Like I just I want to save it for somebody that I'm going to enjoy. So,
Really?
hmm
There's nothing wrong with it.
just making it happen. Like I said, that's what I'm on right now. Trying to, as soon as she gets home, she about to get it. So, just to keep things hot and regular at home because it's not a good feeling when you feel like that's missing in your relationship. So,
No, I completely agree. But I feel like you know what? I like that you said like that you're blessed to have this, but this you're that person.
mhm.
Um, that you're enjoying them and that you're willing to take this journey with them because like Kit Kat suggested those meds if that's something in the future that might be an interest to her because I mean it is a big deal but you know what it's good for people to advocate for themselves as patients and if that's a problem that she wants to discuss with her provider then I think go for it but I like that you guys are still putting in that work. I know for me when it comes to finding somebody that you have that connection with, yes, sex is very important. I know for me I love sex but I still want to put in that work with the people who I feel like are those people.
What is that called? A sneaky link? When you just have sex with somebody, but there's no real connection. Like I've
It
had one
follows that.
situation like that, and it's
Just one
it's not
sneaky.
fun.
It don't work for everybody. I get it though. I don't identify as a demisexual, but I do have like way better sex when I feel like emotionally connected with somebody.
Least invasive first. She said she wants to do save the pills for last. Least invasive
No, I
process
completely agree with
first.
that, but I'm just saying. I mean, again, we don't know this person's medical history, so
Yeah, but I appreciate you making the time. I don't know if you want to try to jump on Twitter and do a quick space, or like you said, you got to rest up for work in the morning.
yeah, I work
Um,
at 6.
yeah, get you some sleep.
But if
I
you're down to
appreciate
do
you
Twitter
making time.
Spaces tomorrow,
7:30, something like that.
yeah, that should work for me tomorrow. That's totally fine.
Okay. I hope Kit Kat, Legmog, I hope y'all make it on our Twitter session tomorrow. Like I said, I'm at Chubby Idris Elba on all platforms. Definitely check out the YouTube vlog. You can catch me on Twitch, catch me everywhere. Yeah, we will definitely catch you. Kit
Thank y'all for
Kat,
tuning in.
for sure. I appreciate you guys. Till the next episode, y'all. Peace.
Bye.